Hello world, this is innosabi. Welcome to our webcast about the Agile Innovation Principles, where I'd like to introduce to you our company innosabi and our products. I am Catharina van Delden. I'm the founder and CEO of innosabi, and everything I do is driven by an intense curiosity, curiosity for everything new. And based on that experience of founding our company, I want to share with you what makes innovation processes in the times of digital transformation successful. Speed is the most important factor when it comes to the decision what is success or failure in times of digital transformation, and especially speed in innovation processes, in the development of new products and services. We at innosabi believe that transferring agile principles to innovation processes makes these much more faster, more efficient, and therefore successful in the digital transferred world. We need to think about new business models, about a new way of creating value in our organizations, and that ultimately means that the way we are creating new products and services is completely different than ever before. We don't think about innovation as something that is driven by secrecy, that's only internal in organizations, but we think of innovation as a process that is open, that is agile, that is collaborative. And these are principles that we know from agile software development, and that's no surprise, because today organizations are in competition with digital competitors, with competitors that are born in a digital world, and therefore these processes have to become more digital as well. So if you look at the principles of agility that we formerly know from software development, and we want to transfer them to innovation processes, to corporate innovation processes, we at innosabi have defined them as 4 guiding principles. And if you want to read more about the Agile Manifesto in software development, I encourage you to do so, because it will give you a lot of insight about how your innovation process really needs to change. Applying agile principles to innovation processes means openness over secrecy, collaboration over competition, prototypes over finality, and adaptability over resistance. Our software, the innosabi platform, brings these principles to your organization and enables true collaboration with your whole ecosystem, with the purpose of increasing the speed of your innovation process. That means with our platforms, you are able to identify the relevant people with the relevant knowledge in your ecosystem and collaborate with them on solving problems, on testing prototypes, and on creating new innovations and new products and services. So looking at the innosabi solutions, it's really 4 products targeted specifically for certain use cases and target groups. If you want to look at the matrix, you see that they're separated by internal or external usage, as well as by the question: do you start with an open question, with an open call, or do you start with the nucleus of an idea? And these platforms are interconnected with the innosabi hub that basically gives you the first one-stop shop for innovation, the first touch point for everything that has to do with innovation in your organization. Now we are at a high level in our description, and a high strategic and descriptive level, and I want to give you a more detailed insight on how innosabi products work, how they, and specifically want to give you examples from our customers. I want to give you live examples of how these platforms are used in order to increase the speed of innovation processes in large organizations. So the first platform I want to describe in more detail to you is innosabi Orbit. innosabi Orbit integrates suppliers and external experts in the innovation process. Early on, efficient, and confidential. 2 exemplary use cases how these platforms are used in organizations are supply innovation or innovation search. In supply innovation, you really want to access the knowledge and the ideas of your suppliers. It's not a platform where you look for suppliers in order to give them an order. You look for suppliers who actually want to contribute and collaborate in your innovation process. in innovation search, you really look for technical solutions in an expert network. So, as an example from one of our clients, I've brought to you the platform which is called Thrive, implemented at the Bayer AG, where Bayer invites suppliers to collaborate on innovation projects. And they have found out that this dramatically increases the speed with which they can bring new products to the market. They really reduce the time to market for new products using this platform, where they identify in an open call suppliers who are open to collaborate in innovation projects. The next platform I want to introduce to you is innosabi Telescope. Innosabi Telescope enables direct collaboration with your customers for quick, successful, and user-centered product development. Two exemplary use cases are crowd innovation and prototype testing. In crowd innovation, you really want to have a collaborative approach to the creation of new products and services in several phases. Very often, this happens in collaboration with your customer. Prototype testing is very efficient on such a community as well for digital as well as for analog prototypes, not only for digital. You know, when we think about prototype testing, we so often just think about the digital prototypes like mock-ups, but in reality it's digital and analog prototypes that can be tested with these types of communities and platforms. One example that I've brought to you is from Postbank. Postbank has been using their platform Postbank Ideenlabor for quite a long time now, and they use it to discuss basically everything that has to do with the customer and then new product development and service development, to discuss that with a community of customers and, that's really interesting, non-customers as well. They ask open questions, they ask about opinions, about feedback, they ask about ideas. They also have surveys where they get some quantitative feedback, and with all of that, they establish a factor that they call the hooray factor. They measure how is the response of the community in terms of enthusiasm, in terms of passion, how much does the market scream hooray, which is their internal definition of a successful innovation. So I think that is really amazing because it brings a customer view into management decisions. The next platform I want to introduce to you is Ideaspark, which increases the quantity and quality of employee ideas with state-of-the-art usability and evaluation mechanisms. In Ideaspark, we really see something that formerly has been rather, let's say, traditional, that every company needs to work on. It's an idea suggestion mechanism, it's some kind of continuous improvement, and that formerly has been a very step-by-step and formal approach and a process that didn't involve many people, and therefore had many aspects that were making this process rather difficult and slow. It was dependent on a few people with very distinct knowledge, and very often was characterized by not bringing to life the most exciting and innovative ideas, but very often focused on incremental approaches, which as well are important because you need those to cut costs, to be efficient. But these types of systems really can be the nucleus for a collaborative innovation approach. And the airport in Munich has been doing that with excellence for a couple of years already. On the innovation pilot, they have created a platform where they take this idea management approach as a nucleus to evolve it further into a collaborative innovation approach. So even this formerly rather strict process is opened to the collaboration amongst employees at the airport in Munich already. And lastly, innosabi Launchpad enables knowledge exchange and builds a collaborative innovation culture with agile innovation projects. Two use cases I want to highlight specifically, and this is innovation funding and solution scouting. In innovation funding, you can distribute virtual budgets to internal ideas of employees to prioritize ideas and projects. Solution scouting kind of comes from the observation that very often in a large organization, problems are solved 2, 3 times, many times, they in a different context. And it's much faster to bring together these people who might have a solution for a problem in a different context, adapt the solution to the new context instead of creating a completely new solution. A company who's been using innosabi Launchpad quite successfully is Daimler. And in their crowd innovation platform, they use an innovation funding mechanism in order to prioritize innovation projects, but as well to kind of show an agile way of working amongst their employee base. So they specifically say, in this case, innovation is not just the task or the responsibility for some few who might have management responsibility, but the future of the company really is in the hands of everybody, and everybody can and should contribute via this platform. And this really is driven by a high participation collaboration, because innovation funding makes innovation and ideas visible and drives the enthusiasm and motivation for people to participate. So now we've seen 4 different examples of for companies using innosabi technology in various parts of their organization, in various parts of the ecosystem. It could be collaboration with customers, like we've seen at Postbank, with suppliers, like we've seen at Bayer, internal collaboration, like we've seen with the airport in Munich or Daimler. And all have a slightly different approach and process to making this collaboration successful, and that really is what differentiates these 4 innosabi products, is that they each provide the perfect templates and the perfect processes for exactly that use case that they're built for. So you don't need to worry about the methodology. It comes with our platforms in order to make your open and collaborative innovation project process successful. We have made the observation that collaboration in your ecosystem starts at several points in your company. It might be procurement, working with your suppliers. It might be product, working with customers. But in order to bring the relevant speed in your innovation process, you really need to work throughout the whole ecosystem. You need to identify the relevant people with the relevant knowledge and the relevant content in your whole ecosystem, and not just in that certain part that you've used for one use case. That's why we have built the innosabi Hub. The innosabi Hub links platforms together and opens up new dimensions of data analysis. That means it's basically, the innosabi Hub is a one-stop shop for innovation that interlinks our platforms as well as other platforms in order to give you direct access to people, to persons in your whole ecosystem, and to identify who has something to contribute for your innovation process, or the other way around, to start an innovation project and have access to all these different platforms and networks in order to make your innovation project successful. I'm sorry. This is where you can see a quick overview of of the innosabi Hub technology. Of course, at this point already, I invite you to request a demo of our platforms on our website, where we gladly give you some insight of how the platforms individually work and how the Hub interconnects the different use cases and platforms. Innosabi technology is unique because it's connectable like this. It uses innovation semantics with artificial intelligence to help you analyze all the data, and it interconnects via the supercharger to existing communities and gives you instant access to pre-built communities in order to identify people and knowledge. Because we know building a community takes time, and of course you want to build direct relationships with your direct ecosystem, but at the same time, sometimes you just need quick answers. You just need externals who you might not have direct connections with, and this is what the innosabi supercharger is for. It connects existing communities, could be of consumers, could be of technical experts, could be of design and creative experts, to your platform to give you instant access to these people. Innosabi works with quite a number of large organizations who bring speed to the innovation process with our technology, such as Siemens, Postbank, Daimler, Allianz, or Rehau. We We are a team of 50 people, founded in 2010, and have our headquarters here in Munich, where we, of course, invite you to share a cup of coffee, which we have a strong passion for, and a lot of love. So please come by and also experience the unique way we are working together and how we are organizing ourselves, also in agile ways and in a very collaborative approach ourselves in our organization. Apart from the offer of sharing a cup of coffee, I'd like to invite you to request a demo of our platforms. I invite you to ask for a free copy of our book, which is called Crowdsourced Innovation, and a short notice. I know I've been talking about this for way too long, but it is true. We are working on the second edition of our book, which is called Agile Innovation, and we'll give more of an strategic view on the principles and on the way of how organizations are changing, while the book Crowdsourced Innovation that you can ask for right now gives you more of an operative, hands-on experience on how to make these platforms and these principles successful. And lastly, this is not the only webcast format that we offer. We do have webcast formats where we go into much more detail on methodology, on success factors, on principles, where we want to give you guidance on how to make platforms successful and how to implement them strategically. So these Innovator Studio webcasts are on regularly, and you can sign up for them on our homepage, and I invite you to do that. Of course, the old episodes are available as well, so if you want to take a look, I think by now we have 8, you can look at them and share the video, look at the slides. I look forward to getting into touch with you. I'm Catharina van Delden, and this is my contact data. Have a good day.